Willkommen zurück zu The Zodiac Trial. Im letzten Part haben wir erneut versucht, die Story mit Pick abzuschließen, haben es auch geschafft, das heißt, die Story ist durch. Und jetzt beginnen wir die andere Richtung. Und spannenderweise wurde Pick erschossen. Und zwar direkt. Ja, das heißt, Pick ist leider tot. Und jetzt wollen wir herausfinden, wer der Mörder ist. Das heißt, wer hat auf das arme Mädchen geschossen. Und zuerst befragen wir Tiger und Bunny. Denn Monkey war gefesselt. Monkey war es nicht, oder? Tiger, Bunny. I want to start with the bad news, but something stopped me. What if one of them was the murderer? That fear tugged at my heart. It was a new feeling, a bad feeling. What is it? Did either of you just leave the other one's side? No. That's the point of pairing up, right? Yeah, we've been searching everywhere with each other mouse. Under my breath, there was a sigh of relief. Why? Did something happen? Pig's been shot. She's dead. The looks of surprise and concern that crossed their faces were genuine. Neither of them were the culprit. That's horrible. Do you know who did it? No, they shot through a door and ran. Damn it, who would do something that terrible? To just shoot somebody and flee? That's just cowardice. Yeah, it fucking sucks, Tiger. Anyway, I'm trying to get the group all in one place as soon as possible. A sensible approach. So you're saying we should head down to the cafeteria? Yeah, as soon as possible. Gotcha. Alright, you go ahead and do that, Tiger. You're not coming? I'm just going to sweep the classes in this hallway first, see if anybody's around so I can tell them what happened. This statement gave me pause. It was reasonable enough. Bunny had an alibi when Pig was shot, so it should be fine, right? But suggesting it like that felt manipulative. That's a good idea, Bunny. Mind if I tag along? If you want to, sure thing. Okay, well, I'll just go wait in the cafeteria then. You guys be sure to look around quick, alright? Will do. And so, now I was partnered with Bunny, while Tiger was the one going off on her own. Bunny and I didn't make much conversation. After all, we were keeping a quick pace. The sense of urgency still flowed through my veins. We checked room after room after room, looking through them all to try and find other people. But it seemed like the second floor was something of a wasteland. When we had made it to the other side of the building, we decided to take the staircase back down to the first floor and look around there. There, on the first floor, we saw Horse standing in the hallway, looking into the library, looking distressed. Hey, Horse, there's something you have to hear. Actually, first, where's Sheep? As we approached him and began to get a view inside the library, I've got an answer to that question in the worst way. In the library, limp against the bookshelf, Sheep lay motionless. But not only Sheep. Not only was Sheep dead, but so was Tiger. To my utter shock and disbelief, Tiger lay in the middle of the library floor, blood leaking from her neck. What the hell? This is... Immediately, I felt my stomach drop. It wasn't sadness or horror, it was disgust that filled me. I weakly wandered away from the scene, only to begin retching onto the hallway. I just couldn't hold it in. The scene was so scarily vile. Sheep and Tiger, dead? Dead like that? Dead permanently? Sheep was so sweet, Tiger was so cheerful. Sheep's death was bad. What was worse was the fact that I had let Tiger go down by her by herself. Was it my fault? Faintly, I could hear the conversation of Bunny and Horse in the background. I needed to pull myself together. They might be dead, but I wasn't. In an immediate 180, I turned around and marched up to Bunny and Horse. Horse, what happened here? Why are these two dead?
I would tell you if I knew.
But it's so awful.
Indeed. I hold more grief for this than you.
Sure about that?
No.
Oh, well, that's honest, I guess. But seriously, what happened here? While I talked to Horse, Bunny had made his way inside the room and began to inspect them. Ah, sehr gut. Inspected, I guess it would be a crime scene?
I can simply tell you what I know. Sheep and I were looking around the school together. Then she went to free Monkey from restraints again.
Oh, So Sheep also went to help Monkey like that? Makes sense that I wouldn't be the only person to recognize the situation. When I thought this to myself, Horse continued to speak.
And instead, I continued to search through an office. It's the one right over there, near this library.
Horse pointed out the door, and indeed, there was an office right by the library.
I focus a lot when I'm looking for things, so I was a little out of it. But in the back of my head, I thought I heard a commotion nearby. So I left the office and came to the source of the noise, this library. There, I saw the sight before me. But before I could comprehend it, I felt a blow in the back of my head.
To the back of your head? The idea of someone to strike the head of someone as tall as Horse frightened me.
Believe me, it shocks me just as much as it shocks you. Anyway, the blow was strong, so it took me a couple of seconds to get to my feet. When I did, there was nobody to find, and was still left with the scene. That's when you came by.
I see. But man, to kill Pig, then Sheep and Tiger in such a short time span? Who is this monster? At this, Bunny walked back over. So, I did a bit of investigating. If it makes you feel any better, Sheep died very quickly. Crushed windpipe. Dead just like that. I didn't find any signs that the tool was used, so I guess the windpipe was crushed by hand. A very impressive feat of strength. Tiger didn't seem to have it so easy. The lamp on his desk, it hit the side of her skull so hard that it bent. She also has bruise around her left eye. Oddly enough, there was this weird skull luchador thing gripped on her right hand. Weird, right? I don't know how that's relevant. And as for the thing that killed her, well, her throat was stabbed multiple times with a pen. That's horrible. Yeah, and for Tiger, someone so raring for a fight to get killed like that? Pretty shocking stuff. Say, Horse, you said you came over to the library pretty soon after you heard the struggle.
I did.
And the blow that hit you came from behind?
Indeed.
Well, that's odd to me. See, the library only has this one door for an exit. It does have another smaller room inside, but that place is a dead end. Horse, are you the other traitor?
Are you accusing me?
I'm just saying, the evidence doesn't look great for you right now.
I did not kill either of them.
Horse said this so sternly, so matter of fact. I don't know why, but for some reason it felt so genuine. I couldn't help but believe him. I think he might be telling the truth here, Bunny. Seriously, Mouse? I thought you were smart. You buying this? I'll admit this crime scene doesn't look great, but would Horse really kill Sheep? Yeah. Okay then, what about Pig? Pig was shot through the stomach. And it's not like the bullet was angled particularly down or anything. It seemed to mostly be a straight shot. So unless Horse was on his knees when shooting Pig, I have a hard time seeing him as the culprit. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Thank you, Mouse, for seeing reason.
Anyways, you should probably go and gather the others and tell them all that happened. I'll stay here with Horse, maybe investigate a bit more. You do that.
Wow, 3 Leute tot. Super.
And once more, I separate from the group to try and find the others. One dead now, 3. One dead, now 3. We really are dropping like flies. But I couldn't afford to linger like that. We had spent too much time in the back and forth with Bunny. Time we couldn't afford. I rushed up to the 3rd floor, trying to look for people to tell them about what had happened. Before long, I found a rooster and ox in some history classroom.
Oh, Mouse, glad to have you here, please. Come in and make yourself feel comfortable.
What's wrong, Mouse? Why aren't you with Pig? So, Rooster was acting dumb and Ox caught on quick. Business as usual. I can imagine that you let Rooster out of your sight, right, Ox?
No, I can vouch for his location this whole time. Right back at you, buddy. I've been watching you all like a hawk.
Alright then, here's what's been happening. In a few words, as I could, I explained the situation to those two.
It's awful, tragic, unspeakable. Well, I guess unspeakable.
I didn't think something like this would actually happen. I guess the monkey was right to be concerned. No kidding. Anyways, I'm gathering everybody in the cafeteria to try and discuss things.
Okay, we'll head down there now. Alright, we finished this puzzle. Rooster, seriously? People are dead. But I'm so close!
Wait, what are we talking about?
We found a safe, so we're trying to solve the puzzle to open it. Well, more accurately, I'm trying to solve the puzzle to open it. He's just been punching a random number combination. Hey now, let's not be dismissive. Everybody has their own puzzle solving style. Just because you don't appreciate my style doesn't mean you have to be mean about it.
Thanks for taking one for the team, Ox.
Well, somebody had to. Anyway, Rooster's not wrong in that we're close. And even though we need to discuss what happened, we also need to find minor trinkets. Once we finish up here, we'll head down to the cafeteria. How does that sound?
To be honest, I wasn't in love with this idea. I was trying to gather everybody in one place, so to keep people separated, well, so long as they stay together, things should be fine.
Oh toll, die werden sterben. Die sind sowas von tot.
Alright, just make sure you don't take too long.
Trust me, I don't want to spend any longer in a room alone with Rooster than I have to. I'm like, right here, guys. I know. I know.
And with that, I left them to continue the puzzle solving. I jogged down the hallway, popping into more classrooms, trying to find more people. Before too long, I ran into another unhappy pairing.
Snake and Dragon, nicht wahr? Ja, Snake and Dragon.
Snake and Dragon were thoroughly expecting a classroom in silence before I barged in.
Mit wem geht Dog eigentlich? Will ich gerade, wer fehlt noch? Dog? Ach, Dog ist allein, glaube ich, okay.
Mouse sub. So the murders have begun. The hell?
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Mouse ran here without her partner in a distressed state. The only thing I can imagine leading to such a situation would be if people have begun to die. That's freaky, and also probably not right, but I don't have time to argue about that. For what it's worth, you were correct, and that people have begun to die.
Seriously? You're not shitting me?
Most unfortunate. Wait, then what's been the point of having this prick following me around then? I thought that was to prevent killings. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyways, Pig was shot from behind a door right in front of me. Then Tiger and Sheep were killed in the library, and Horse was assaulted.
Whoa, what the hell's been going on?
That is what I'm trying to figure out. For now, I'm gathering everybody in the cafeteria. Can you guys head over there?
Sure thing.
Without so much as another comment, Dragon rolled out of the door and began to make her way to a nearby staircase. I meant to follow her, but before that, Snake grabbed my arm. I sighed. I couldn't imagine anything good coming of this. Yes, Snake.
What's with the tone of voice already? You know, Mouse, I'm starting to suspect you don't like me.
Snake, we're in a high-tension situation right now, and I'm not really in the mood for your whole deal. If you got something to tell me, just say it.
Okay, I was getting to that. Anyway, just to preface, this might not be that important already. I view it as something of a
Get to it.
Right. So recently, I have observed something unusual. Here's the thing.
Before I couldn't hear what the thing was, I heard the sound of shooting. This was the second time in but so many minutes someone was cut off before saying something. To make it worse, it was Rooster shouting. I was so tempted to just ignore him, but unfortunately, it sounded pretty serious.
Hey, somebody come here quick! Is there a doctor in the school? Please, it's a matter of life and death. We got a situation on our hands.
Another time then.
Na, was passiert? Ochs, nicht Ochs!
And with that, Snake went towards the sound of Rooster's voice. And I followed, of course I did. And when I got there for the third time, in but so much time, I was horrified. My momentum came to a sudden stop as the world seemed to spin around me. Because before my eyes, in the doorway to the classroom, I had left him, Ox was lying there, bleeding out, dying. Like Pig, he was not dead, but dying. His body still spasmed, and his eyes caught mine. They were filled with a mix of determination and fear. I couldn't keep a stare for long. My eyes dropped to the floor, where flecks and dots of blood had spurted everywhere. Ox's neck had suffered a nasty cut, and I suppose the blood had just splurted out everywhere. Like pushing down a gusher. Ox, no! My breathing was becoming unsteady. Pig, sheep, tiger, ox? Why were the best
rest of us dying off, one by one. Was I next? Snake to my side was keeping notably better composure.
Rooster, what happened?
How should I know? Look, I was at the closet solving the puzzle with the style.
So random inputting combinations?
I resent that. Anyways, that's when I heard this really gnarly sound effect from behind me. Before I know what's happening, Ox is on the ground right by the open door, dying. Immediately I think to check the neighbor hallways, because of course, duh, who wouldn't? But I don't see any signs of the attackers flee. So I called out for you all.
Ox, I can't believe he died like this. Nor can I. Mouse, you mentioned that pig was shot. Why, then, was Ox killed with a blade?
Well, did that happen in the story, right? Maybe the killer didn't expect Ox to be that close to when he entered, and the knife was better suited for a close quarters kill.
Perhaps.
Well, tiger and sheep were killed with gun, so I don't know how much we can rely on that thought process. Maybe there are multiple killers.
But Monkey already admitted to being a traitor, and she's tied up. So there should only be one traitor free.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Why leave you alone, I wonder? Seems a tad odd.
Clearly because they couldn't handle my sick fighting moves, so they knew to bail. And good on them.
Wait, Snake, are you suspecting Rooster? Your shoe fits, so to speak.
Rooster, why aren't you getting upset about this? Honestly, it's just an honor to be nominated as the master culprit. I take it as a sign of respect.
Why?
Well, with all the blood it shot off Ox's neck, the killer should have clearly gotten a bunch of it on themselves. And yet the only blood on me is a bit on my hands from when I tried to help stifle the wound. So Snake probably thinks I was able to run to that nearby restroom, wash myself off, and get back into call you over all before Ox died, slashed to the throat. Right?
To be so thoroughly booked by Rooster of all people, this hurts. Look, we can all agree that Rooster sucks. No offense, Rooster.
None taken.
But I don't think he's a killer. Besides, if he killed Ox, wouldn't the weapon still be here?
See? Mouse gets it.
Look, we really need to just gather as a group in the cafeteria and debrief. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, I'd like to stay here and investigate for a bit longer. If being by myself is a concern to you, Rooster could stay with me.
Yeah, I could do that. I'd really appreciate if you could just go to the cafeteria now.
And I'd really appreciate it if I could simply examine the scene for a bit longer.
I could have sworn that I actually heard a small crack in my brain at that point.
Fine, okay, whatever. Don't blame me if you get murdered. I won't.
I will though. I will though.
Fully done with all of that, I made my way to the staircase. Things were happening too fast. It was all just too much. I need to ground myself again. And so, I made my way back to the cafeteria, praying that everyone left would have conglomerated there so we could have some sense of normalcy. However, as I passed the library, once more I saw a scene that nearly stopped me in my tracks.
Where's Toad, horse or bunny?
I nearly fell to the floor due to the shock. This couldn't be reality. This must have been a dream. That's the only thing that could explain how quickly people were dying, how quickly the school was becoming true hell. But I stood on my feet. I didn't even scream. I couldn't. I didn't want to risk alerting Dragon, who was crouched over the bunny. To the side, Horse also lay motionless, a bullet right through his head. The silenced pistol dangling in Dragon's hand was disconcerting, to say the least. I didn't know what to do or say. I just stood motionless. However, it appears even without emotion, Dragon noticed me. Instead of making some move, she continued to examine Bunny, and then she spoke.
Do you know how the dragons were formed?
Huh? I didn't know how to respond to this sudden conversation change.
Nah, of course you wouldn't. Some nice law students from a well-off family. You wouldn't know anything about it. See, the gang actually started out in juvenile centers. The prisons are shit. Only the strong survive. And so to survive, a bunch of criminals from the same area of Hightower banded together. And when they got out of prison, they stayed together, survived together. Because that's what you gotta do.
Uh-huh.
As far as I'm concerned, this man's more of a criminal than any of my friends. I mean, it's guys like him that have ruined my community, brought us where we are. But I mean it in a much more literal sense. I knew his face from somewhere, but I couldn't place it until I was reminded. This guy's a killer. Shot an innocent man. And he walks free. But that's how it goes, you know. The judge doesn't sentence the cop. And come the next election time, the police endorse the judge once more. Someone found from that fucking brutal suckle, some scum like that. It makes sense that he'd do what he did. Still, even I'm surprised at how brutal he's been.
Dragon, what do you mean?
I mean, this guy's the other traitor.
Really?
I come down to catch this prick standing above Horse's body. Pistol in hand. I'm looking right past, but he suddenly stops me. Tells me to wait a minute to look at this. He hands me Horse's tablet. Generously, I give him the time of day. And I thought that maybe Horse was a traitor. That it was for some sort of self-defense. Turns out no. Horse isn't a determined personality at all. And right as I recognize that Bunny pulls the gun on me. But I'm faster. I knocked it out of his hand. And then I give him a good old uppercut. Send him flying to the ground face first. From there, I just spent the level-loving shit out of him. Felt good, felt right. Who would care about it? After all, the chaos and darkness of this race would tear away all the shit. Our survivors will write the truth. For good measure, I grabbed the busted lime and choked him out with a cord. And like that, we're saved.
So he was the other traitor?
Of course.
Could I see his tablet then?
Dad. I accidentally got broken when I was beating the shit out of him. My bad.
Accidentally? I froze. I was with Bunny when she was killed. When Tiger was killed. He couldn't be the culprit behind all of this. But could Dragon? If we're looking for somebody who could break Sheep's windpipe, who could beat Tiger in a fight, who could land a blow on Horse, our options would be limited. But Dragon was one of the few who still fit the profile. Could it be? Well, Dragon was the one holding the gun right now. So it wasn't really the time to bring up my theory. Okay, well, could you wait in the cafeteria for now? I'm still trying to gather everyone, just so we can clear up everything.
Sure, I'll do that.
And very calmly, Dragon walked out of the room and made her way to the cafeteria. I saw her start talking with Monkey, who at this point must have been very out of the loop. Alright, no matter what I did next, I needed more people. Snake and Rooster had it long enough. I went to the nearest staircase and made the trek back up to the 3rd floor. These stairs felt so long. I've been running up and down them for so long. But it wasn't long at all, was it? This had all been happening incredibly quickly, thinking about it. As I made my way up to the 3rd floor, I felt weary.
Oh nein, ich glaube, es sind wir welche tot. Das verwirrt mich. Ich bin so verwirrt. Oh boy, wir werden sehen im nächsten Part, ob jetzt wieder noch mehr gestorben ist. Vielleicht Rooster, vielleicht Snake, vielleicht beide. Wer weiß es schon, ne? Ich meine, das leben ja nur noch Monkey, Dragon, ich, Rooster, Snake und Dog. Das müssen alle sein, ne? Ja. Gut. Dann sehen wir im nächsten Part weiter. Ich danke fürs Zugucken und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.